Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Earlier today, the United Soccer Coaches preseason top 25 rankings came out, and Nebraska is ranked 6th overall. The Huskers returned 10 starters from last year's team and will play 5 other teams ranked in the preseason poll, including number 4 Penn State, number 13 Michigan State, number 19 Wisconsin, number 24 Duke, and number 25 Iowa. Plenty of Olympics news and notes for today. The U.S. women's basketball team defeated Nigeria 88-74 to advance to the semifinals against Australia. Aja Wilson had 20 points and 11 rebounds to lead the team. The U.S. men's water polo team beat Australia 11-10 in a shootout to advance to the semifinals. On the track, Quincy Hall came from behind to win gold in the 400-meter race, and Kenneth Rooks won silver in the steeplechase. The U.S. men's volleyball team fell to Poland in 5 sets today. They will play for a bronze medal later this week. So as it stands right now, the U.S. leads the medal count with a total of 94 medals, including 27 golds. China is second with 65 medals and 25 golds, and Australia is third in gold medals with 18. Our sports ticker is brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Call a timeout. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Heinrich gonna step in back, little G-belly action. There's a man wide open. It's Jalen Lloyd. The throw, he makes a catch. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Nebraska serving specialist. Kennedy sends it over Vasquez Gomez. Perfect pass, set it up. Fairbanks diving, take Laney Choboy. Bumps it left Nebraska. Harper, and nearly drops. Free ball back. Oh, a block back by Becca, and that nearly drops. And a free ball finally over, block back by Becca, and it does. Becca Alec, she's putting on a blocking clinic. They can't get it over.
Bryce Williams puts his head down, cut off by good defense by Mbako. Now up top it comes to Mast. Mast dribbles once, gives it back to Williams, shoots a 3 on the way. Got it again! Another 3. Williams on fire.
Jazz Shelley, who has electrified this crowd. She'll take a 28-footer. You betcha! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? She ends the first quarter in triple style.
Ball's at a strike here on Gabe Swanson, the pitch. Hit pretty well towards left center field. Going back on it is Graves. Graves at the wall, and it's gone again! Swanson's gone deep again! Gabe with his second solo shot of the game.
Billy swings and crushes this one to the moon. Left center and gone. No doubt on that one. 3-1 Nebraska.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Well, happy hump day. Hope everybody had a good day today. You're halfway to another weekend, another summertime weekend, so you hope you had a good day today. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your Wednesday night with us here on Sports Night. We got a jam-packed show. We're going to talk to John Butler, the new defensive backs coach for the Cornhuskers, hear from a couple of players, including MJ Sherman and Danny Kalin, and talk a little basketball. Braxton Meah, who is the 7'1" transfer to Fred Hoiberg's program from the University of Washington. Jessica caught up with him this week as well. So a little mixed bag coming your way. Speaking of basketball, Jess, how much is a Sam Griesel autograph going for these days? Any idea?
I have no idea. What happened?
He's in a movie. You know, he's got this movie coming out.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
It's called Rez Ball. It's a LeBron James production. And it drops on Netflix, I believe, in September. I saw the trailer yesterday. And Sam is the villain. Sam's the bad guy. Imagine that. Good old Sam Griesel is going to be the villain. How about that? So I think it's based.
We will see how his acting skills are then, because
right.
If he can pull off being a villain, then sign him up to go to Hollywood.
Exactly. So I believe it's based on a bit of a true story about an Indian reservation and one of their young lady is killed, dies, and so her brother wants to give up playing basketball and doing things, and the town and the community rally around their high school basketball team, and they go. It's based in New Mexico, and they go to play the dominant power in the state in the high school basketball, and Sam's the best player on that team, and he's got a lot of lines in it, and if you pull the trailer up, you'll see him right away, but I didn't know he had done this. I saw this a couple of days ago and then went and dug up the trailer and saw that. And Sam Griesel, folks, if you haven't met him, I'm sure you've kind of got a perception of him with all the interviews that he did the 1 year he played for the Huskers. Just the nicest young man you could ever meet. But here he is. He's the big, cocky guy for the team that everybody wants to take down in high school basketball. But it's called Rez Ball, R-E-Z Ball. And LeBron's got something to do with it. I think LeBron now owns a production company or something. But pretty cool little deal for Sam. That's awesome for him. Maybe got a little cash in his pocket.
I remember when he filmed it. So it's awesome now to see it come to fruition. And it looks like, September 27th, you said?
Yep.
And I just pulled up an article. Look, it appears like it's getting really great reviews already. So,
yeah.
LeBron, you could say what you will about him, but he's not going to put his name on something that isn't solid, right? I mean, he's got expectations. And so if he's going to get behind something or put his name on something, invest in something, it's probably going to be pretty solid. So I'm excited to see it. A little bit like, I wonder how it will compare his production company to Peyton Manning's, Because Peyton Manning's Omaha Productions, they've put out some incredible stuff.
Yeah, they're more documentary. This is a true movie and a story and all that type of thing. And you're right. The reviews I've seen, some people that have viewed it like it. I don't know if it's because of Sam, but he's part of the story. And what a cool deal. And we'll need to try to track him down, Jess, when that thing drops, just to kind of get him on and get the story about shooting that and what that was like. That'll be fun to chat with him when we get closer to September 27th.
Absolutely. I will. And then also, not only that, but he was a big part in recruiting a few of these guys that came in out of the transfer portal. He had ties to a few of them, and so he's been big. He's such an advocate for this program, and even though he was here for just a year, he's just so invested in continuing to help the program move forward. So just really, it was kind of storybook that he came back for his last year. Would have loved to see him go to the tournament, but it is just incredible. And for 1 year, just the impact that he's been able to make. And, I know we all were so appreciative to get to watch him play that year in the Husker uniform. But, yeah, I got that on my to-do list. I will reach out, and we will be able to get him on.
That'll be fun.
No
and
doubt.
I think he's back in Lincoln now. So I think the overseas part of playing basketball is quiet right now. I think they do more of that in the wintertime. So I do think he's back in town. And you're right, Andrew. He was a big reason Andrew Morgan ended up in Lincoln. And boy, I loved your conversation with Andrew Morgan. That kid works on cars, works on the farm. I mean, that kid was phenomenal. That was one of my favorite interviews you did all summer, was with Andrew Morgan.
He was a fascinating guy. And, conversations that I've had that have gone to practice, he seems to be one of the breakout stars that maybe people weren't expecting to be as big of a contributor, but that, hey, he might be a pretty good get, end up being for this Nebraska men's basketball team, even more so than maybe some of the other ones that we thought. But he's an interesting character. So that was fun. I've never had a conversation like that, but that's why we do what we do, to find those stories and to have those kinds of conversations. So it was fun.
Well, he shoots it better than I thought. When I went to one practice a couple weeks ago, he shoots it better than I thought he would. Now, hold on, I'm not trying to say he's Rink. I don't know that he's quite as good as Rink Mass, who will not play this year because of the surgery that he had a few months ago. But I don't know that he's that far off. And he may be a little bit more physical than Rink played. And then with the guy that you're going to talk to next hour, in Braxton Meah, there's your rim protector and your guy inside to do those kind of things. But Andrew's I think it'd be a nice addition to this team. So Rez Ball, folks, R-E-Z Ball. Netflix drops late September. Our very own, we can say that, right? Our very own Sammy
G.
will be a part
Sammy
of it.
G.
Yeah, very good. All right. How about soccer being number 6 in the preseason poll? That took my breath away when I saw that. Fantastic. Now, remember, they made the Elite Eight last year, got beat at Stanford, but played really well against the Cardinal on the road when they got bounced in the tournament. But that's a lot of respect being given Nebraska early in the preseason. And again, just like what we talked about with the football poll a couple days ago, once you start the season, these preseason things don't mean a lot, but it's a jumping off point. And I think something that John Walker certainly can use in the recruiting that, hey, look how much national attention we are getting right now with our program.
You know, and I knew that they were going to get a decently high rating, but I thought it'd be more in the maybe 15 to 10 range. But if you look at it, if you look at the roster, and they did lose the nation's leading scorer in Eleanor Dale, but really in terms of the production and the contributors, almost everybody else is back, and they reloaded, and they still have Sarah Weber, who we have said her name a lot. But it is, you know, when you start talking about some of the other soccer programs that would have been in the top 10, top 5, maybe they lost more than Nebraska. And so you're looking at, well, we know what Nebraska has and the players that they have coming back, and even goalie Sammy Hawk, who is a great friend of ours here on the Huskers Radio Network, was an intern a couple years ago, who I'm going to hopefully chat with next week. But, you know, you got your starting goalie back. You've got one of the best players in the country in Sarah Weber back. And then you've got some of the great defenders. I think pretty much everybody on the defense, the defenders came back. So, you know, it just when you have that much talent, and they did do so well, and they even made it competitive in the Elite Eight. So, you know, probably with those people, the coach, it's a coach's poll, right?
It's much like volleyball does coaches, it's coaches for soccer too. So this isn't just a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing. These are the coaches who kind of monitor this stuff.
Yeah, so, but you look at it on paper, and maybe across the country you might not know as much about some of the teams, but with Nebraska, pretty much you know what they have coming back, and certainly a ton of talent. So that's exciting. I saw Troy Dannon tweeted, hey, great to be out in the afternoon with the number 6 ranked team in the country. It just, that is, when you have a top 10 ranked team, it just, I love to brag on that. It's just awesome. And I think this is a team that is going to do big things this season. With what they have coming back and what they figured out with experience, and they learned last year what worked, and the chemistry and some of the things that the leaders implemented that I know they'll try to carry over. I think they're welcoming those expectations, right? I mean, they want those expectations. So I think it is okay to say, hey, we're expecting big things from that program because they're expecting big things from themselves.
I don't know if you mentioned Abby Schwartz. You might have, but Abby Schwartz had a couple of goals in their match the other night. They'll play Oklahoma final tune-up match Friday down in Norman, then open the season a week from tomorrow, Thursday night, the 15th. They'll take on Oklahoma State at Hibner Stadium. And I'm told that all the reserve seats at Hibner are sold out for the season. So great job again, Husker Nation, in supporting these programs. And now you have a top 10 program to be out there and watching. Gwen Lane, who's one of those defenders you referenced. Gwen's actually a neighbor of mine, and I've known Gwen for years. I saw her walk into practice the other day, and I go, wait, aren't you done? And Jess, she goes, no, this is my COVID year. I really thought we were done with COVID, but I guess not. She goes, yeah, this is my COVID year. So she's playing again. So there's a lot of depth, and there's a lot of veterans on this team, including Sammy, who used to do a little work with us here at the network. But yeah, congratulations to them. Cool honor to be ranked preseason number 6.
I do think that COVID, this will be it if you had a redshirt year or an injury year for the fall sports, because it was done in the spring for, you know, the freshmen that came in. So Billy Andrews, for example, did not get a COVID year. So it's done there unless you, Sydney Gray had the option to do it. So, you know, I think we're getting towards the end of it. If you didn't have a redshirt year or a medical year, then you still, then you're done. We're through that COVID year. But if you had the redshirt or the medical year, then you still have, but we're getting close to that being all done. I think this probably will be the last year. Maybe next year will be a very, very few, but I think this will be about it.
Don't you think the coaches are ready for it to be over too?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it will thin out, right? Some of the rosters or the players that have been in the portal. I don't know. But yeah, I think most people are ready for it to be done. It seemed like it's taken forever to get through it.
I know. And I just kind of wonder, and somebody may have done a study on this, how many opportunities has it taken away from people coming out of high school the last couple of years that there weren't scholarships available to them because of the COVID years being added to these athletes? And again, I don't blame the athletes. They had a year robbed from them because of a worldwide pandemic. But there had to be kids coming out of high school, both men and women, who couldn't get scholarships because there weren't any left on teams. So, but yeah, it's got to be just about over. All right, no availability today for the Huskers. They did practice today, but no availability for them. The next time we'll hear from some of the coaches will be Friday. We'll hear from a couple more coaches on Friday. Then there's a big scrimmage Saturday, which is the first of 2 major fall scrimmages, training camp scrimmages. And Matt Rule will talk after that scrimmage on Saturday. So that's the next time I think we get a real kind of peek behind how camp has been going for the Cornhuskers. All right, busy show again coming up here tonight on the program. Do have time to tell you the Woodhouse Auto family is your trusted auto partner. They've got 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Go visit us online at woodhouse.com. We're back to hear from John Butler, the new defensive backs coach for the Big Red. We'll do that next.
It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event at your Midwest Ford dealers. Get 0% financing or up to $4,250 bonus cash on F-150. Amazing offers and a great selection of the best-selling trucks in America for 47 years. Ford F-Series. These are the deals you've been waiting for, so don't wait. Make it Ford. Make it yours. Make it now. Get 0% financing for 36 months or up to $4,250 bonus cash on a new Ford F-150. Now, only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Woodhouse has been your premier destination for your automotive needs since 1975. Whether you're looking to purchase a new vehicle, sell your current one, or looking to service, our team ensures a convenient and seamless transaction from start to finish. Explore our wide selection of top brands and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with our team's dedication and decades of trusted service. Get started online at woodhouse.com and experience the Woodhouse difference today.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Plus, 96% of Outback vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Longevity based on Experian automotive vehicles in operations versus total new registrations for model years 2023 to 2022 as of December 2022.
Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TL Irrigation are like no other.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event at your Midwest Ford dealers. Get 0% financing or up to $4,250 bonus cash on F-150. Amazing offers and a great selection of the best-selling trucks in America for 47 years. Ford F-Series. These are the deals you've been waiting for, so don't wait. Make it Ford. Make it yours. Make it now. Get 0% financing for 36 months or up to $4,250 bonus cash on a new Ford F-150. Now, only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody. Yesterday, we heard for the very first time from new secondary coach and pass game coordinator John Butler. He had a press conference and met with the local media, and I also had a chance to chat with him one-on-one yesterday following practice. So here is my conversation with John Butler.
Okay, well, how would you describe just these last couple of weeks, these last few weeks?
I think it's obviously been a major change, but a very positive one. My mindset was in one direction up until this contact was made and inquiring about my interest, and then obviously everything changed. I mean, I don't really even know how to articulate it other than, in life you've got to make decisions pretty quickly when opportunity comes your way. I knew some of the people in the building. I knew the history of this program, and after thinking about that and talking to some people that I care about, that I lean on for advice, it became a decision that was pretty easy to make.
Coach Rhule talked about the relationship he had with you and knowing you for a long time. What was it about him and that you wanted to come work with him and be a part of his staff?
Well, that was a huge part of it. Obviously, when I say I knew some people in the building, I know Sean Patton very well. He's a longtime close personal friend, even outside of football. But then I've known Matt even back when he was an assistant at Temple, and I believe I might have been at Minnesota or Harvard. And, we'd cross paths on the recruiting trail pretty often. We had some friends that he played with at Penn State that I grew up with. So there was always a connection. And then obviously, the success that he had and how he built the program at Temple, what he did at Baylor and what he's doing here is, speaks for itself. When I was in Buffalo, he had, two of his best players at Temple, Tyler Matakevich and Deion Dawkins were there, and I became close with them. So we'd always talk about, how Matt was successful and what was his formula and what he did, and a lot of the things they shared with me were things that I believe in. So there was just a natural connection, through time and just, shared relationships is kind of how it works out. So while not having ever worked with him, I knew enough about him and knew enough about the culture that he builds and the teams that he builds that, when I had to make a decision, do I just keep relaxing at the beach or I come back and, do what I do and do what I love? This was an opportunity that was just too hard to pass up.
How about working with Tony Knight and just getting to know him over these last few weeks too?
Yeah, I'm very happy to be here and working with Tony. One of the things, I did not know Tony personally. I knew a lot of them. Like when he was at Syracuse, they played well on defense, and obviously being in Buffalo, you're close enough to them and you know enough about them. But just his knowledge of the game and how he builds relationships with all the players, not just guys in a certain group. His football mind, I think, is one that I appreciate being around, and it motivates you to be on your stuff. And then just the system in general is very unique. So that was part of the equation too. Like I've coached in 4-3, I've coached in a 4-2-5, which is a nickel defense. I've coached in a 3-4. Well, I've never really coached in this system. So as a coach, you're just always trying, and really as a human, you're always trying to grow and learn and embrace new thoughts and ideas. So the defense that he's put together and how we're able to be flexible in multiple ways in the back end has been really cool to learn and teach.
How have you gone about getting to know the guys in the room? There's a lot of them in there.
Yeah, I would say, Matt has asked, he's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, well, the biggest difference is, in the NFL, the last 10 years, you're coaching 12 to 15 guys. Well, we're coaching double of that now. So obviously we have great assistants that are helping me. And I really kind of made a personal decision to really not get to know them until I got out on the field with them. So I didn't have any predeceived notions about them as a people, or like really let anyone else influence me about who they are and what they do. And I've been not pleasantly surprised. I've just been encouraged with the quality of men that they've recruited here and the quality of the players that they've recruited here. And I feel like I'm coaching in the pros, and obviously you have a very experienced kind of group of guys, and then you have a more or less experienced group of guys, but that's what your job is as a coach, is to connect the two groups. Right. And get the younger players to the point where they're, playing like the older players. So.
In terms of development, we've heard a lot about that being a big part of what you do, and being so good at that. How has that become such an important part of your coaching philosophy, and how have you become good at it, I guess?
Well, I think I've become good at it through just time. It's like trial and error. You try stuff, it works. You try stuff, it doesn't work. The stuff that doesn't work, you don't do anymore. And the stuff that does work, you believe in and you stick to. I also believe that that's ultimately from, like, if you ask me why I got into coaching, it's because I love the sport that I'm coaching, and I love seeing people get better. Winning ends up being like the collateral benefit of that. But when you are investing in a player from a fundamental standpoint, from a maturity standpoint, from just a physical development standpoint, and you start to see progress, you really are heading in the right direction. And so, like, that's the cool thing about these young guys. I mean, I felt like that I made players better in the NFL, but as you get older, they do hit a plateau. Some of these kids that you're working with now, there's no ceiling. So, I'm not going to get into names, but there's a good collection of 5 or 6 of these guys that even just after 5 practices, I'm seeing much better improvement. And I'm saying to myself, their ceiling is something that the more time I feel like I invest in them and spend in them, and they're just going to keep getting better. So I think that's why I do it ultimately,
Last thing, just what's your approach to just getting through fall camp, and then also overall for the secondary group, how you guys go about getting done what you need to get done?
Honestly, I've taken probably about 5 or 6 years ago when I was working with a player named Jordan Poyer. We were joking about something, and we just came to a conclusion that really, not just in football, but in life, everything's about like this day. Mm-hmm. And it's a catchphrase, but it really is. Like right now, I don't have anywhere to live. I'm living in the dorms, and I don't care. Like today, all I'm trying to do is do as good of a job as I can today and get to the dorm room and go to sleep. And eventually, I think I'm moving into my apartment like the 8th or 9th, and when that happens, I'll worry about that then. But I'm just taking that approach of like every single day, punch the clock, obviously get into a routine here with the meetings and then the walkthroughs and then the practices and the film, and try to get the players in that same routine, so that I believe that's part of the process of getting better, which kind of refers back to your original question. Like, you get better with every single thing you do. It's not just, hey, I just practice and that's it. It's the meetings, it's the walkthroughs, it's everything.
Appreciate it. Welcome to Lincoln.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Appreciate Coach Butler spending some time with us. It was great to hear from him after practice yesterday, but we are not through talking Huskers fall camp. Our fall camp coverage continues next. We're going to hear from one of the expected to be big-time playmakers for this Nebraska defense, MJ Sherman. A conversation with him coming up next. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
Woodhouse has been your premier destination for your automotive needs since 1975. Whether you're looking to purchase a new vehicle, sell your current one, or looking to service, our team ensures a convenient and seamless transaction from start to finish. Explore our wide selection of top brands and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with our team's dedication and decades of trusted service. Get started online at woodhouse.com and experience the Woodhouse difference today.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. They're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TL Irrigation are like no other.
Woodhouse has been your premier destination for your automotive needs since 1975. Whether you're looking to purchase a new vehicle, sell your current one, or looking to service, our team ensures a convenient and seamless transaction from start to finish. Explore our wide selection of top brands and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with our team's dedication and decades of trusted service. Get started online at woodhouse.com and experience the Woodhouse difference today.
We're back, Sports Nightly here on a Wednesday night, 402-413-2400. That's the number if you want to be a part of the program with a call or a text. Have a couple texts coming in. Appreciate those from the folks. I really like John Butler's energy, Jess. He exudes confidence. I don't know. I don't think it's cocky. It's confidence, and I think there's a difference. But I think he's going to be a good fit here.
I really do too, and just. Yeah, it's confidence, but it's also how many times do we hear that talking about players? With the more that you get the experience, the more confidence you have. I mean, certainly he's got a ton of experience, and I keep going back to, because it's the best, I guess the closest tie that we have here in the Huskers radios. Jeremiah Searles was in Buffalo when he was there, and he just went on and on about even the pros that were in his room, Coach Butler's room, he continued to develop and how much better they got under him. And so, some of the couple of us defensive backs in the NFL, that their names are pretty big, that have done some big things that, Searles has said, hey, I watched them get better under him. So, when it's a developmental program, you've got a lot of young players, and that's I think a big key to what the Coach Roll and his staff does here. So he's going to add to that the pro-like feel, the how they're getting guys to approach day to day. It's a lot of the same, I think, philosophies and thought processes of how you go about being successful at playing football. I feel like he meshes well with that too. So, and the fact that, hey, even though he has all this experience, he still wanted to come in, no, how do you guys do things? And I'll learn that. And then once I get a feel for that, then I can add my 2 cents on things. But right now, I just want to get to where I know how we want to go about things and learn the system, learn the verbiage and the technology, all of that kind of stuff. And then he will. So I think that is a big sign too, that's a guy that, hey, I'm not bigger or better than anything. I want to come in here and just be a part of this staff and this team and in whatever way I can. So yeah, I think there's a lot of reasons why he's such a great fit for this program.
And let's not kid ourselves. This is not easy, making this transition this late, this close to the start of the season. And I can tell he's still trying to figure out what he has in that room. And it's probably going to take maybe even up to kickoff, maybe even a couple of games in for him to really determine what he has in that room. But if you don't get a guy that has that much experience, I don't know if you pull this thing off. I think it would have been really crazy to try to pull this off. So kudos to Matt Rhule for finding John Butler. Nice that the sales pitch worked, and he's now here in Lincoln. Well, one guy that Nebraska is going to be counting on to have a good season is MJ Sherman. You know, Chief Borders had a really good spring, opted to leave the program after spring football. So at that jack position, which is the one that they can move all around that defense, MJ Sherman right now would be the lead candidate to get the most snaps at that particular position. Jess had a chance yesterday to catch up with MJ.
Here with MJ Sherman. Well, how's the body feeling? How you feeling a week into this thing?
Weekend, body is feeling like my body, but, you know, as I said, we're just going to keep running through brick walls, keep you trying to get better, so that's all.
Overall, how has it gone for the defense a week into this?
I feel like we're improving in the right ways. We are going in the right direction when it comes to certain things. We really trying to take the expectations, the coach execution, the standard of the defense, and trying to take it by the bull, like try to take the bull by the horns. But once again, there's always things to clean up. There's always things to correct and fix. But all in all, we're doing a pretty good job.
We've heard a lot about the summer that you guys had, how good it was. How did you see that translate once you did get on the field and start playing football again? Man, just the speed of the game. You know, college football is becoming real more perimeter, outside plays, outside runs, not a lot of RPOs, stuff like that, man. We just got to be able to put our foot in the ground and be quick and react. And, I mean, that's what Coach Campbell and Shape Conditioning staff helped us do, be more powerful, quicker, and faster. And if we can do that, then handle the thinking on the other end, which is what OTAs and everything else like that, and slow down football for us mentally, we're able to be a great defense. So I think that's what the summer really helped us do. You seem just absolutely laser focused, and even going back to the spring when I chatted with you. So how did you go about approaching, since the spring ended to the start of fall camp, getting yourself right and where you wanted to be? I mean, there was no reason to let off that gas pedal. If I really want for myself, what I really want for this team, or what I really want for my teammates, it would have been no point of letting off on the gas pedal, man. And that's why I kept on telling myself. That's what I kept on reminding myself. That's what my folks keep reminding me. Everybody who's around me, who loves me and cares for me, and reminding me, it's like, man, like, you know, if we want to be great, we have to do the certain things to be able to be great, man. And that's like, you know, taking advantage of the summer workouts. So it was like, yeah, as I said, it was no time to have no true day off or just be like, I'm going to enjoy my summer. Nah, we had to go in there to work. So like that was my mentality. And I'm pretty sure that was every single body else's mentality, because we wasn't trying to have the season that we had last year. So we try to, once again, get that step better. It's awesome. Terrence Knighton really bragged on you in the leadership role that you've taken on, and just the example that you set. So what kind of example are you hoping to set for this team?
I'm trying to be as vocal as I can, but I'm really just trying to set by example. So, you know, be a leader by example. Just trying to do the right things in the right violence and physical tone for like guys who's below me to be like, okay, that's what it looks like. You know, everybody can talk, they talk, you know what I mean? But I'm just here to walk my walk, if you understand what I'm saying. Like, I leave the talking to the guys like, you know, Ty, Nash, Giff, you know what I mean? Like the more highly respected fellas, you know, and I would just follow in their lead and lead by example. So
You know, you just mentioned a lot of guys that played a lot of football together, and you guys returned a lot of guys on the defense that played a lot. What does that do when you go into year 2 that you have so many guys that you're familiar with being on the field together?
It creates a strong bond and chemistry. I mean, that's what we in Selleck for the team camaraderie aspect. I mean, we're not just there just to be there. You know, we're there to be bond and, just build that team chemistry that really is needed on the field and off the field. Yeah. You know, and it creates more than just being teammates. Those are my brothers. And the guys who I just named, those are my brothers. The guys who I, always talk to in the locker room, even the freshmen that, I be trying to get to know every now and then, those are my brothers. You know what I mean? And so, we care for one another, we love one another, and, just like any brother or, sibling relationship, we go out there and bang heads all day. You know what I mean? So, that's how it is. That's how it feels having all those guys come back and just be with us on that field. And I wouldn't want to line up with nobody else.
Love that. Tell us about Jack Potenza, what he's like as a coach and what he's brought to that Jack position.
Jack is a very eager and he brings a whole lot of excitement in the Jack room. I mean, that's somebody who really cares about us and his job. He really wants us to succeed. He really wants to put us in the right positions to succeed, and that means he's really is diligent in his detail of work. I mean, it might be a play on tape that was why in my head I'm like, okay, that's cool. But Jack has always said, how can we get 1% better? And that's I wouldn't want no one else like that to coach me. You know what I mean? I'd rather have someone hold me to that stand. I'd rather have someone tell me, even though that was good, what could be better? Yeah. Because once again, good ain't good enough no more. We have to be better.
Okay, so overall, how do you like the room, the guys that are in the Jack position room with you? How do you feel like you guys are progressing and what you're going to bring to this defense?
We're just going to bring physicality. That's really physicality and violence. That's really what I'm going to say. I mean, Jack has done an excellent job in preparing us for this very exact camp. He did a great job of even setting the rules and standards, and not just a standard for the defense, but a standards for the Jacks. Mm-hmm. And he did a really good job of doing that. And I really do love him, and in a sense where I will follow his lead and I will trust his words on a lot of things. And same goes with T Knight because he helps out a lot as well. Same thing will go with Coach Rule because he talks to us a lot. But they just really trying to have us in the right position every single time. And when I mean right position, it means where your eyes at, hands being violent, feet being active, working towards the quarterback, and all be all, team success equals individual success. If we line all those two together, we'd be just fine. And as I said, Jack always wants us to be in most successful position ever. So I know I said that a lot, but still, literally that's what he always says. He wants us to put us in a position for success. So when we there, when it's 5 minutes left on the clock, when it's right before half, end of game situation, who could be the ones who can make a big play? So.
You like the guys then that are in that room around you to be able to do all those things you're talking about?
Of course.
Yeah.
And we might be young in that room, but the good thing about being young, you're fertile soil. You're able to soak all that stuff up. You know what I mean? I'm one of the oldest guys in the room, but below me is a bunch of guys who are hungry and ready to work. For instance, Jordan Ochoa, Willis McGahee, Ishmael Flores-Smith, Maverick Noonan, all those guys right there, Prince Will, all those guys, they ready to work and they're very hungry. I mean, there's not a single day where they just come out here lollygagging. They try to put their best foot forward every day.
Love that. Last thing for you, just what does this defense need to accomplish over this week, next week, the next 3 weeks?
Making sure that tomorrow is better than today. Mm-hmm. That's all. That's simple as that. Making sure tomorrow is better than today. I mean, that's been my goal. That's been the defensive goal. That's been the coach's goal, and that's the standard per se. That's why the saying is 1% better. Make sure tomorrow is better than today.
Jay, great perspective as always. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate you.
Greg, he is just such an incredible interview. I mean, just what a perspective. And I mean, that's a guy that you want to talk about experience and just understanding the game and has been around and, Courtney Wallace played softball here. She's working in the athletics department. She was helping me out yesterday doing those interviews, and after we were done, she's like, "Wow, he was really good." Like, he's definitely one of the best. And just a great perspective. But one of the things that I like the most about that is, tell us about this position. What are you guys trying to bring to this defense? He said, violence and physicality. That's ultimately number one, what we are trying to bring. So always love to hear that.
And there's some names in that room that he threw out there, like McGahee and also Maverick Noonan, who everybody's kind of forgotten about because Maverick was hurt last year. But Maverick had a great spring game a year and a half ago. He's going to be a player. So that room is stockpiled with some people that can make some plays. MJ's the lead going in, but I guarantee you he's getting pushed by McGahee and Maverick and some of those other names that he threw out there. But, yeah, fun interview, high-energy guy. I love it. I tell you, and we're all called Kool-Aid drinkers around here, but I'm getting the sense this is a pretty good football team. And we got to go prove that on Saturday starting on the 31st. But there are just so many parts about this. You're like, yep, that'll play, and that'll play. Now it just all needs to come together.
Absolutely. I mean, I think the more you felt it, when you see a lot of the guys that decide to come back, you're like, okay, because you saw so many good things that were established last season. And then you get guys like Ty Robinson, hey, I'm coming back. And, some of these other guys that, Isaac Gifford, Bryce Benhart. So then you've got a lot of these veteran players that, no matter what situation, but then certainly this one, come back. And then you add some of the talent and you see what they did on defense, and you add to that. I know there's some holes to fill, but yeah, you start to feel pretty good, and then you felt pretty good about it in the summer and after spring football. But then now that we're here and we're continuing to hear and see it come to fruition, it just gets you more and more excited. And I'm with you. I think this is a pretty dang good football team with quite a bit of talent.
Yep. We'll know more after that scrimmage on Saturday. Can't wait to hear the comments after that from head coach Matt Rhule on Saturday. All right, Conway says break time. We'll do that as well. Last break of the hour, 402-413-2400. We're back to wrap up hour one next.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on Sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
Husker Nation, your women's basketball team is gearing up for another incredible season, and you can be right in the heart of the action. Join the season ticket request list today and guarantee your spot for another year of Husker dominance. Witness every key basket, every clutch steal, and celebrate every victory with the most dedicated fans in the nation. Don't wait. Head over to huskers.com/tickets and secure your seat for an unforgettable season. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Oh, love that song. It's a throwback there.
I wondered when you're going to start talking.
Isn't that Bachman-Turner Overdrive? I think that's Bachman-Turner Overdrive. Yeah. Hey, Woodhouse Auto Families, your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying in your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. NDOT.com. Colorado's football Twitter account's been kind of fun to follow, right? They only tweet out what darts. Camden, I know you've been tracking this. What'd you notice about the CU football account?
Yeah, so yesterday they tweeted out a video of Shadur passing what seemingly is a touchdown with the caption "darts only," but it's like two clips spliced together, not very well. And so it makes it look like it's a completely different throw. So now all these other social media accounts are kind of making fun of it. I know Arkansas football seemed to be kind of the first one to seemingly make fun of it. But I know the Big Ten Network put one out with Nebraska in it. And who else did we see, Jess?
Oh, gosh. If you just search on Twitter, a.k.a. X, darts only, I mean, it is hilarious. Montana football got into it. Someone did from a practice to a game. So what they're saying is that's not even the same play, right? So they basically took a shot of Shadur throwing it and then took a completely separate shot of the wide receiver catching it in the end zone, and then they spliced those together. And so people were hammering them, and then today it's just gone viral. But the original clip has like over 9 million views, so they're getting a lot of play for it. But it's hilarious what some of the people, social media, it is entertaining. Yeah. It is so funny. So they have had so many different accounts. Arkansas, as Camden mentioned. Idaho football got in on the action. Montana. There's some Mizzou, Maryland, Troy. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like almost everybody at this point, because now it's the new social media trend. So, but some of there's some creative clips being put out there. It's hilarious. After Camden, I didn't know about it, and Camden told me about it before the show, and I'm sitting here going through it, and I'm like, I have tears because I was laughing so hard at a few of them. It's great.
They've gone in 12 months from the hottest thing in town, everybody wanting to do their pregame shows from there, to now almost a laughingstock program now. I mean, it's turned that quickly at Colorado, and it had to, because of the way that season played out for them last year. I mean, to not get to a bowl game with all the hype that got put out there with their great start. I mean, they win at TCU, they beat the Huskers, they win a wild game on a Friday night against Colorado State, but then they win one more game the rest of the way, and now you got this kind of a thing, which is just an unforced error, making a big mistake on your own. So crazy how quickly the thing can turn on you, right? From being at the highs to dropping way down.
Yeah, some of the articles that have come out over the last couple of days, really just about some of the former players, guys that have left, speaking out about the violence in the locker room and just the really not being held accountable, how awful the overall atmosphere is within the program. But this is more of a funny thing. It's a more lighthearted, but this is more of like probably this is not bad press because they're getting a lot of attention for it, and that clip alone is blowing up. But yeah, the rest of it is no bueno.
Steve in Bellevue, you're right. That was the Doobie Brothers, China Grow. I messed up. I said Brockman Turner Overdrive, but yeah, Doobie Brothers. Classic rock and roll song from back in the day. All right, what a quick hour. Great to hear from Coach Butler. Next hour, we're going to talk to Danny Kalin, another one of the Husker young quarterbacks, and also Braxton Meah, who is the 7'1" addition to Fred Hoiberg's basketball team. Going to be a rim protector. Can't wait to hear that conversation coming up here in hour number 2 of the program. Wednesday night, Sports Nightly. How about that? We're already to Wednesday, getting closer to the end of the day. Tomorrow night on the program, Lauren Cook-West is going to stop by for quite a while. Going to talk some volleyball with her. Huskers are into day 3 of their practices over there, and I'm sure she'll have some great inside takes for us tomorrow night.
Yes. So, we'd been talking about doing the volleyball one-on-one. I saw a couple of text messages that came in on our text line. We did get to those. But just diving into some of the new rule changes. But we talked substitutions, everything you want to know, from advanced to not advanced. We dive into with Lauren. So it's going to be a great conversation.
Love it. That again tomorrow night on the program. Come on back. Hour 2 next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Set. Hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TL Irrigation are like no other.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Mike Shepard or Craig Kerr in Lincoln, or Agent Jeff Martinez in Omaha today.
Good evening. I'm Camden Cohn, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Earlier today, the United Soccer Coaches preseason top 25 rankings came out, and Nebraska is ranked 6th overall. The Huskers returned 10 starters from last year's team and will play 5 other teams ranked in the preseason poll, including number 4 Penn State, number 13 Michigan State, number 19 Wisconsin, number 24 Duke, and number 25 Iowa. Plenty of Olympics news and notes for today. The U.S. women's basketball team defeated Nigeria 88-74 to advance to the semifinals against Australia. Asia Wilson had 20 points and 11 rebounds to lead the team. The U.S. men's water polo team beat Australia 11-10 in a shootout to advance to the semifinals. On the track, Quincy Hall came from behind to win gold in the 400-meter race, and Kenneth Rooks won silver in the steeplechase. The U.S. men's volleyball team fell to Poland in 5 sets today. They will play for a bronze medal later this week. So as it stands right now, the U.S. leads the medal count with a total of 94 medals, including 27 golds. China is second with 65 medals and 25 golds, and Australia is third in gold medals with 18. Our sports ticker is brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services. Call a timeout. If you or someone you know is struggling or in crisis, the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is there. Call, text, or chat 988. It's free, confidential, and staffed with trained counselors ready to listen and provide support. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Heinrich gonna step in back, little G belly action. As a man wide open, it's Jalen Lloyd. The throw, he makes a catch. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Nebraska's serving specialist Kennedy sends it over Vasquez Gomez. Perfect pass, set it up. Fairbanks diving, take Laney Choboy. Bumps it left Nebraska. Harper and nearly drops. Free ball back. Oh, a block back by Becca, and that nearly drops. And a free ball finally over block back by Becca, and it does. Becca Alec, she's putting on a blocking clinic. They can't get it over.
Bryce Williams puts his head down, cut off by good defense by Mbako. Now up top it comes to Mast. Mast dribbles once, gives it back to Williams, shoots a 3 on the way. Got it again! Another 3. Williams on fire.
Yeah, Shelley, who has electrified this crowd. She'll take a 28-footer. You betcha! Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? She ends the first quarter in triple style.
Ball's at a strike here on Gabe Swanson, the pitch. Hit pretty well towards left center field. Going back on it is Graves. Graves at the wall, and it's gone again! Swanson's gone deep again! Gabe with his second solo shot of the game.
Billy swings and crushes this one to the moon. Left center and gone. No doubt on that one. 3-1 Nebraska.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are back for hour number 2 on our Wednesday night show. Got a big hour coming up. We're going to hear from one of the Husker quarterbacks, Danny Kalin, here in just a couple of minutes. And then Braxton Meah, the 7'1" transfer for Fred Hoiberg's Huskers from Washington. So another Big Ten team. We take the guy from Big Ten school, bring him here to Lincoln, Nebraska. You guys were telling me before the show tonight that I didn't get to watch as much Olympics today as I have, but I guess there was some terrific races on the track today. And a really good day for the USA track and field team. What, steeplechase, and was it the 400, Jess?
Yeah, it was the 400 meter. It was Quincy Hall, and it was unbelievable. I was watching it live, and he looked done. I mean, he was about to finish 4th. And then all of a sudden, they round the turn, and then he's behind. And then at the end, he comes and he surges ahead, and he ends up getting gold. And, you know, the, who's Sonia, that does the analysts. Gosh, she's one of the best Olympians. Anyways.
Is it Richardson?
Yeah. She was saying, I have never seen a 400 run like that. So that's saying something if she's saying that. And they were going crazy for it. But he comes back and wins. It was unbelievable. To me, it's been one of the biggest moments that I've seen live happen throughout this entire Olympics. And then the steeplechase, the guy ends up the Americans supposedly have never really been good or contenders in the distances, but they won, the 1,500 last night and then, or yesterday, and today in the steeplechase, and I do not know the guy's name, but all of a sudden there's one lap to go, and he starts passing these guys that are the defending gold medal champion and the world champion, and they're looking over him like, who are you? And this is his first Olympics, and he ends up passing them. Then one of the guys ends up getting ahead of him, but then he comes back and gets the silver. So it was incredible race too. There were really good races today. I think we're not done seeing fireworks either. You still got the 200 meter with Noah Lyles if he can do the double. Some of the women's races. There's still a lot to go, and we've already seen some incredible moments on the track.
Sure have, and I did see the 1,500 last night with Hooker, who came from behind to win that. He outkicked everybody in the last 10 meters. That was a tremendous race as well. So just some really good drama with the track and field. The Huskers that are competing over there, none of them have really cracked or been close to the podium. But again, great experience. Like we talked a lot about Till earlier in the week, just to be able to go over there. Axelina Rima also getting ready, or have competed. I think the women's discus was today, was it not? I think it was. I think I saw some of that going on today. So some really good drama on the track and field. What a bad Olympics it was for our beach volleyball. It's the first time ever we didn't get anybody a medal on our men or women. They're all out. That was disappointing. I love that stadium. I love where they built that thing right there at the base of the Eiffel Tower. That was a cool setting. I don't know how Los Angeles compares to that. I mean, they're going to probably put it down on Malibu or something, but there's just been a lot of wonderful memories for people in the last week, and still some to go with these still having the games not wrapping up until Sunday night.
They were saying that the sand volleyball was one of the hottest, if not the hottest ticket in the Olympics. It was one of the hardest ones to get into. If you've seen any of the images, I mean, it is a party. It's like a fun atmosphere to be a part of. So it's like, kind of FOMO if you're not there, I feel like. But yeah, surprising, and especially because the women's pairs were looking good, and then all of a sudden, here they are. They're not even in it anymore. So that's disappointing.
Jess, they have a guy like D. Wade out there, cranking up the crowd at the beach volleyball. They've got a DJ rocking it between points and somebody kind of trying to get the crowd pumped up. So, yeah, it's a party atmosphere when they play that beach volleyball. It does look like a lot of fun.
D. Wayne and I were talking the other day, because we were both doing the 1890 event, that we should maybe do a podcast together at some point. I feel like he'd be a great guest. And, he's got a good perspective on a lot of different things, but he's not a huge sports guy, but he loves being a part of the Husker athletics scene, and he does a lot around here. So I feel like that'd be pretty fun.
It'd be fun. People, I think, would love to get to know more about him. Well, also, we're going to give you a chance to learn more about Danny Kalin, the Husker quarterback from Bell West, who's the other scholarship quarterback in the room this year for the Cornhuskers. Probably not at the same level right now with Heinrich and Dillon, but I know the coaches really like Danny and think he's got a high upside. Jessica had a chance earlier in the week to catch up with Danny.
All right, here with Danny Kalin. Well, how has it gone so far, the first week in the books?
Yeah, it's been great so far. Fall camp, kind of just getting my feet wet, things, and I think it's been going pretty well so far.
How did it feel first day of pads?
Great. When you kind of have the spiders on, it doesn't really feel like you're really in pads. Kind of the practice and the intensity changes a little bit. So just felt like real football today. Felt like we were really getting going. Yeah.
Well, you were here in the spring. I know got a lot more comfortable with everything here, this college football thing. But how did you feel going into the start of fall camp?
Yeah, I would definitely fall back on, the spring and the summer has been huge, getting here early. Just going to help me get prepared for something like this. So just feeling really confident, feeling really good, especially with the playbook. Haven't been in it for already, a number of months. So, just feeling good, feeling confident coming in.
I asked you this spring what it was like working with Coach Thomas, but now that you have even more months and now you're on the field with him for fall camp, what have been some of the biggest things that he's helped you with navigating this thing?
Yeah, you can just see a lot of the stuff from the classroom that we work on translate to the field, whether it be different checks or recognition from coverages or different kind of things and options on different plays. So just the more time that the QB room gets to spend with him and in our meetings, just I think helps us all. Just the big thing he talks about is application, taking the classroom to the field, and you can definitely see that happening in practice.
How about the wide receivers? I know you guys were excited about them in the spring, but now that you're throwing the ball around to them here in fall camp, getting closer to game day, how excited are you guys about the guys in that room that you get to throw the ball around to?
Yeah, I feel the same way. Not just the receivers, but the tight ends too. Just we have a lot of really talented, lot of big physical guys. You know, just really a versatile group of pass catchers that I think are going to be able to do a lot of good stuff for us. So really talented. Still feel the same about them. Really excited to be able to continue to throw the ball to them, see them make plays for us.
How do you feel like the chemistry, though, continued to develop? Because, I mean, I know you guys put a lot of work in over the summer, so did you feel like that even took another step going into fall camp?
Yeah, no doubt. The summer, there's not only OTAs, but there's time for us to kind of throw with each other on our own, just continue to build that chemistry. So the more hours, the more work, the more balls thrown that you put into it, it's only going to make us better. And I think, like you said, our chemistry is just continuing to build.
How comfortable do you feel in this offense now?
Really comfortable. I just think, like I said, the more reps you get, I love the way that the offense is built and how they put it together. So I think it's just for us to continue to work through it, know all the different options on every single play, and just be confident and execute.
Coach has talked a lot about just the competition and wanting to compete. How's the competition been just overall with this football team?
Yeah, it's just not just with the QB room, it's really everywhere. I think it's only elevating the play of the whole entire team at every single position. So, but in the QB room, we just continue to push each other, and not only push each other to get a spot, but also just helping each other out with really anything. So it's been going really good.
I know you've done some community service over the last few months, and Coach Thomas actually said you'd move some stuff around to be able to go do some stuff. Why has that been important to you to make that a priority? Yeah, I think when much is given, much is expected, and not to say that I'm given so much, but there's always people that are kind of in need, and always ways that you can help other people out, and that's something that I think is not only important to me, but something that's voiced around our team. Always want to help out the community in any way that we can, so that's always important. How are the dorms? Dorms
are great. Hey, I don't really have any complaints, to be honest. The AC is really cold, so I've been sleeping fine, but no, it's been fun. Like, you kind of get closer to the guys and spend more time around the entire team. So I really think it's been good so far. Just 24 hours of football, and I've been loving it. Have there been any shenanigans taking place yet? Any jokes, any card games, anything like that? A little bit of card games, but I think everyone, especially when we're putting the installs in, trying to everyone gets back and we've met up some of the QBs in some rooms sometimes, just studying the plays. So taking as much time as we can to obviously focus on what we need to focus on. But there's been a little bit of, just hanging out, kind of having fun, especially when we get that, last hour at the end of the day after we're done. So. What's your approach, going day to day? How are you focusing on making sure you're getting done every single day, what you need to get done? Yeah, I think it's really just attacking everything that you do, whether you're fifth string, fourth string, or the starter. I see it as just attacking it the same way every single day. And, we have a lot of great coaches that kind of lead us in the right direction of how to prepare and what to prepare with. So it's just putting in the hours, doing what you need to do. And like I said, just attacking it with everything you have. Appreciate your time. Yep, thank you. He is incredibly well-spoken, and I remember going back to signing day, just being blown away by his perspective and how he's able to communicate. I wish I would have gotten this during the interview, but after we were done, he was waiting for his turn at the podium, and we got to talk about the new training table. And because I first asked him what his favorite part of the new facility was, and he originally said, the sauna, and then in the recovery area, and then he said, no, the training table just opened. I forgot. It's definitely the training table. And he was telling me about the different options that they had, and he's tried something that he hadn't tried before, and now he's gotten it a couple different times, and just the options there, and it's incredible. So he seems to be quite the foodie too, and appreciating. But I just love his demeanor and how he is just so positive and uplifting, and is you could tell that when whoever talks about him on this coaching staff, that they love him as a human being, and I think that comes across when you hear him talk.
Good to hear that the ACs are cranking pretty good there in the dorms, right? That those are okay. Yes. Particularly over the weekend when we were hitting those 100-degree temperatures. But
some of them, when I asked them about it off camera, they're like, it's funny to hear the different responses. Oh, the beds are terrible, or oh, I'm not sleeping very well, or oh, it's fine. We're having a good time. It's just, I think they're taking it one day at a time. I think they'll be really ready to move out. That's for sure.
Well, my guess is the wide-eyed freshmen like Danny probably think it's okay. The older guys who've been in their own apartments or whatever for a few years are probably like, get me back to my bed, get me back to my comfort zone, and they'll get back there soon enough. But I'm sure it's probably where you are in your grade level, whether you're enjoying that or not at the dorms right now. But what a great concept. It's awesome that they're doing it. I think it's another wonderful addition to what Matt Rule's brought to Nebraska. I think it's a really good thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, just continuing to build that camaraderie. You just heard him say it's all football all day. And so you can really focus on taking it day to day and, hey, all in today and let's get better today. And then, yeah, you're going through it together. And while at times you're like, gosh, this really is terrible sleeping in this bed. But then you look back and you laugh about it. And it's just, you know, it continues to build that camaraderie and chemistry that is really, really important and part of this culture. Yeah. Doing some, Danny is going to have a lot of people pulling for him because he's grew up in this state. Could have gone elsewhere. Could have gone elsewhere late in the recruiting process when the news popped that Dylan was going to flip and come to Nebraska, but he stayed here. I think he's going to be a Husker his entire career, and I think he will at some point in time, maybe it's this year, maybe it's not, but at some point in time he's going to get a shot. And I think he'll be ready. He just seems to me like the guy that will be prepared and be ready to jump when his number gets called. Woodhouse Auto Family, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Go visit us online at woodhouse.com. All right, when we come back, Braxton Meah, one of the big new additions to Fred Hoiberg's basketball team, sat down with Jessica today. We'll have that conversation next.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TL Irrigation are like no other.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Woodhouse has been your premier destination for your automotive needs since 1975. Whether you're looking to purchase a new vehicle, sell your current one, or looking to service, our team ensures a convenient and seamless transaction from start to finish. Explore our wide selection of top brands and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with our team's dedication and decades of trusted service. Get started online at woodhouse.com and experience the Woodhouse difference today.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Matt Moorhead or Joanne Shamanek in Lincoln or Scott Jeffers in McCook today.
It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event at your Midwest Ford dealers. Get 0% financing or up to $4,250 bonus cash on F-150. Amazing offers and a great selection of the best-selling trucks in America for 47 years. Ford F-Series. These are the deals you've been waiting for, so don't wait. Make it Ford. Make it yours. Make it now. Get 0% financing for 36 months or up to $4,250 bonus cash on a new Ford F-150. Now, only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
When you're in the stands and have the ability to control your irrigation in the field, it's a game-changing moment. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Experience real-time, play-by-play action and control that keeps you ahead. Score big with irrigation technology from Valley. It's technology that improves your life and lets you be at the game and in the game. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody, and tonight we continue our series of conversations with the Husker newcomers, getting to know the new faces that will be competing for Nebraska coming up this season, and another new name joining Nebraska men's basketball, the 7'1" transfer from Washington, Braxton Meah. I had a chance to chat with him yesterday. Welcome to Lincoln. How's it going?
It's going great. Thank you for inviting me on.
Well, how have you settled in? You know your way around. I know that's a lot of it is like figuring out where you got to go and where you got to be. How is all that going?
Oh, it's a process, but it's going well. I'm starting to like Lincoln.
That's awesome. How have practices been? You guys have been on the court some over the last couple of months?
Yeah, it's been going great. We're all working hard, trying to reach that ultimate goal, getting back to the March Madness.
Yeah, I love that. Well, okay, let's learn a little bit about you and your backstory. Take me back to when you go into the transfer portal, what you were looking for in your last stop of your college basketball career, and why Nebraska. What was it about Nebraska that fit what you were looking for?
It was just, it was mainly, I have like a couple people around me that help guide me, make sure I'm making the right choices and stuff like that. And once Coach Z reached out, it was like firing all greens. Everyone was like the perfect fit. These coaches are exactly what you need. They'll push you, they'll understand you, all that. So I was like, it sounds like the perfect fit. I can't lose this opportunity.
Oh, that's awesome. So Ernie Ziegler is who you're referring to. He is awesome. We love him around here. Tell us about that relationship and what it was in that conversation with him that you felt, okay, this is genuine. This is a guy that I really like.
Yeah, everything was it was straightforward. He told me exactly how to be successful. They showed me clips of just how I could fit in. Like, it was the first time of me like ever seeing something like that. Like they literally went through the whole process, made sure that I would be a good fit here too, not just, oh, he's a good player, da 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 da.
Yeah. What did you know about Nebraska before you signed on to come here?
Not really much. I would see like clips. I watched a couple of the games. I ain't gonna lie. I liked watching you guys play. It was always electric, especially with Casey and Rink. I love watching you guys play.
Elite rim protector is what Coach Hoiberg said, and I know you had called yourself a defensive anchor. How did that part of your game develop, where you're like, okay, I want to take pride in what I'm doing on the defensive end and provide that for a team when you're on the court?
Yeah, always throughout my life it's been protect the rim, go block shots, go get the rebounds. So I'm like, it's just kind of, it's me now, I guess. Just play defense. That's my main focus when I'm on the court.
How much have you found that can ignite a team when you come up with a big block or you make a big stop like that?
Oh yeah, it lights up the whole arena. You get a block, everyone's standing up, everything. It makes your whole team want to just go. Let's keep scoring. Let's keep the pressure on them.
I love that. You know, I was reading an article where you had said you didn't find your love for basketball until late in life. That you were always tall, and everyone said, "Hey, you got to play basketball," but you didn't really actually take it seriously until later on. Can you take us through that and how that evolved for you and where you did find your love for the sport?
Yeah, as you said, I've always been tall. Growing up, I was like, in junior high I was like 6'4", 6. It was crazy, but it was just like a slow process of me like falling in love with the grind and stuff like that. Just falling in love with the sport. It's like a girl. You're not just gonna oh, I love this. You gotta take it slow.
Process, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what did you find that you loved about it then when you did start to discover, okay, this is something that I want to invest in?
I think it's just my competitive edge. I've always been super competitive when it comes down to like video games, playing other sports, or just anything, even like flipping a coin, who's gonna get heads or tails. I just always had that little competitive edge, so I just like winning.
Did that start somewhere for you, the competitive part of it, or was it just always in you?
I would say it started with like playing games with my little brothers and stuff like that. Me and my brothers are like really close, and we would always play games and stuff like that. And it's always been like, who's better at this? Who's better at that? And just it's just that competitive edge, I guess. I don't know really how to explain it. I just love winning.
Yeah, there was another article that's written about you play with a mean streak and you want your presence to be felt. Tell us about that and why you've developed into that and why that's been important for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. How can I say this? I just don't want to be known as like the big dude he's just big.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I want people to know like I have a presence. Like I'm here. You guys got to worry about me too. Stuff like that.
A lot of people don't like that physicality. How much do you embrace that? And hey, you want to be physical? I want to be physical with you.
Oh yeah, nah. I love the physicality, even though it ends up getting me hurt a lot of times. But I love it. It's just that energy you bring, and dominance that you bring, on the court every time. I love it.
How much are you looking forward to bringing that to Nebraska and providing that to this Nebraska basketball program?
Mm-hmm. I can't wait. I really, if I could, I'd just say skip all the workouts. Let's play now.
It's awesome.
But, yeah.
Have you gotten a sense of just the support and what the atmosphere is like inside Pinnacle Bank Arena?
Yeah, no, the Lincoln's fans are really they really show up for their teams. I'd see sold out crowds, even like other sports like volleyball and stuff like that. It's just electric out here. I love it. Since you guys really don't have no pro sports out here, everyone comes together to watch these games, and I love it.
How much does that fuel an athlete when you know that you have that kind of support?
Oh yeah, nah, it's like that. Like you have good energy around you. It's just helps you keep going. Even when you're down, you have all that good energy around you. You just want to keep going. You want to show up for these people that are paying hard-earned money to come and watch you play.
Absolutely. Not just on the defensive end. I know that's the offensive side of your game has really grown too throughout your college career. At one point, you were leading the nation in dunks, I think. But, it's not just, I know you're tall and people think, oh, you just, jump up and put it in. But you're talking about lobs and having that chemistry and being able to basically work yourself open and all of that. So take us through that and how you became dominant even on the offensive end and being able to provide that for a team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. So I got adopted into a household when my junior year of high school because my family ended up moving to Japan and I wanted to continue playing basketball. And the lady that adopted me, she would always say, it was a quote or something. I just remember she would always say, dunk, 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 dunk. And that just stuck with me. So every time I get the opportunity, it's go dunk the ball.
What does that feel like when you throw down a alley-oop lob or you throw down a big putback, when you hear the crowd and they react to that?
Oh, yeah, it's just blissful. It's this energy. It's just I don't know how to describe it, but like I could be dead tired and I get a dunk, I'm just sprinting back. I'm going even harder.
I gotta imagine it's like addicting, that feeling.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
You had mentioned your family moved to Japan. How was that, navigating that when you were in high school and them being away and you still wanting to chase your dreams of playing college basketball?
Yeah, no, it was hard at first. I want to say I'm good at like interacting with other people and stuff like that, but like being forced and pushed into a new family and stuff like that, meeting new people, it really helped me out. Like all my social skills and stuff like that, it really helped me out.
So is your family still in Japan then?
No, they actually just moved back this year. My dad's in Atlanta right now, and my mom's in Utah. So it's nice having them closer so they could come see some games.
So what do they think about being a Husker now?
Oh, they love it. They love it. They love the coaching staff. They love everyone that's involved. They think it's amazing and a blessing.
That's awesome. You know, out of high school, maybe not having the long list of offers and you know, again, another part of I read about you, just the having that chip on your shoulder. How much did that fool you? Maybe not having those looks out of high school, but how much did that drive you to become the player that you are today?
Oh, yeah. Nah, it definitely pushed me to become who I am right now. Like, I know that there's always going to be someone ranked higher than me, yada, yada, yada. He's going to look better on media, stuff like that. But I know that if I just keep my head down, keep working as hard as I am, I'm going to be able to reach those goals and aspirations I have. So yeah, it really don't even mean nothing to me anymore.
It's a great perspective. I mean, what kind of advice then would you have for someone that maybe came out of high school that same situation, didn't have the same kind of looks, but you got to where you are? So what kind of advice would you pass along to someone like that in a similar situation?
I would just say surround yourself with good people that want the best for you, and just keep yourself in the gym. Stay focused.
That's great. Okay, so I was told that you're into anime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? That's a hobby outside of basketball? Tell us about that.
Nah, so when I was younger, me and my brothers used to sneak into my mom and dad's room. And my dad, he grew up in Japan for a little bit. His mother was stationed out there. So he was all in tune with like Dragon Ball, all these little animes and stuff like that. So he'd watch them when we were at the house. And it would be like late at night, like past our bedtime, and we'd go sneak in, hide behind like the little foot of the bed and watch them and stuff like that. And it was just like a little addiction that kept growing throughout the years.
Okay, I know we're going to get asked. So tell us, what is anime? How would you describe it to somebody that doesn't know what anime is?
Anime, it's basically just a cartoon. It's just a cartoon. It just helps you escape reality.
Okay, so let's circle back and talk more basketball. You know, how have you gone about implementing yourself into this team and fitting in and finding a role with, you know, again, in a lot of transfers coming in and you guys trying to develop that chemistry? How has that process been?
Oh, it's going great. I'm learning a lot about my teammates, what they're good at, what some things that they struggle with and stuff like that, so I could help push them and be better as a team as a whole. But besides that, it's great.
What are you hoping to provide? I mean, we've talked a lot about it, but what are you hoping to bring to this team? What role are you hoping to fulfill for this basketball program this season?
Yeah, no. Throughout my years of college, I really haven't been like a leader, and that's something I really want to bring. I want to lead by example, like always being in the gym, always listening to the coaches, being respectful, just that dog mentality, just like you got to outwork everyone around you. And then we have everyone like that on our team trying to outwork each other. We're going to be a great team.
Great perspective. I know you were a little injured last season. How you feeling physically? You feel back to 100%? Health-wise, how are you?
I'm doing great. Andrew, our trainer, he's been helping me out a lot. I'm feeling great. I've been working my tail off, and he's always there trying to help me, be like, oh, you need this, you need some ice, yeah, so he's been really helpful.
It's awesome. Okay, so for your game and this season and going into with Nebraska and working with this coaching staff, what are some of the areas you really want to improve on and get better at and just be able to grow your game?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I just, some of the areas I would say being a defensive leader, just make everyone around me better. That's what I want to improve in.
You know, being that you've been around, you played a lot of basketball, how are you approaching this season to be able to take it all in, going into your senior season and accomplish everything that you want to accomplish?
Yeah, I'm just working my tail off trying to leave a good mark on Nebraska. This is my last year. I only got 1 year to show up for the city, so I'm just working my tail off, keep my head down, just worrying about the important stuff.
Great stuff. That's a mic drop there to end it on. Thank you so much for your time and welcome to Lincoln. We're excited to see you in a Husker uniform.
Thank you.
Again, that was Braxton Meah with Nebraska men's basketball as a part of our newcomer series that we've been doing all throughout the summer. But appreciate him spending some time with us here on Sports Nightly. Cannot wait to see how he fits in. I think he's going to provide some electric moments inside Pinnacle Bank Arena this season. All right, we got to work in another break here on Sports Nightly. More to come coming up right after this.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Dear Truckin' Awesome. Want more horsepower in the stable? The Tundra iForce Max is the most powerful Tundra ever. With its electrifying twin-turbo V6, you got everything you need. Saddle up the Tacoma TRD Pro. Its segment-first performance seats are designed to smooth out the shocks when the ride gets bumpy. The Toyota 4Runner is part mean streak, part wild side, and an all-around icon. Check out that signature power rear window, will ya? Yes, sir, Toyota trucks. Find yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Corwin Toyota of Bellevue, Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, or Baxter Toyota of Lincoln.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Plus, 96% of Outback vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Longevity based on Experian automotive vehicles in operations versus total new registrations for model years 2023 to 2022 as of December 2022.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event at your Midwest Ford dealers. Get 0% financing or up to $4,250 bonus cash on F-150. Amazing offers and a great selection of the best-selling trucks in America for 47 years. Ford F-Series. These are the deals you've been waiting for, so don't wait. Make it Ford. Make it yours. Make it now. Get 0% financing for 36 months or up to $4,250 bonus cash on a new Ford F-150. Now, only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
We're back, Sports Nightly here on a Wednesday night, 402-413-2400. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you. Andy on our text line wants to know, Jessica, who is the tallest athlete that you have interviewed? It might have been Mr. Braxton right there.
It might have been, honestly. I was trying to think about that. Luckily, we were sitting down, but he is definitely, when he's walking up, Seamus, SID, is helping us line up the interview. He was in here. He's like, oh, you'll see him. And sure enough, like, you could see him. So he probably is, but luckily we were sitting down. So definitely up there. I don't know how many 7-footers I've interviewed in my career. Those 2 offensive linemen are up there too. They're big as well. Yeah, 6'9", 6'8" type there. But yeah, Braxton's over 7, so probably would be him. So Andy, appreciate the text coming in. Art in Los Angeles wants to know about how many more volleyball matches we need to win the gold. 2. We're into the semifinals. So Team USA will play in the semis. That might be tomorrow. I lose track of these matches when they are, but they're in the medal round. So either if they lose in the semis, they can still play for the bronze. But they need to win 2 to win the gold medal, and they'll certainly have a chance. It won't be easy. There's some really good, high-caliber teams. China's obviously very good. So yeah, they'll have their work cut out for them to get that done. The men volleyball lost today in the semifinals, so they'll play for the bronze over in Paris. Hey, I want to do a quick shout out to the Nebraska Broadcasters Association. They're in Lincoln for their annual convention. Had their luncheon today, which we here at the network are a sponsor of the luncheon. We really value that luncheon because so many of our affiliates attend that, whether it be our radio affiliates or the television affiliates who carry our TV shows. And I was surprised with the very nice honor today, the Chairman's Award. I did not know. I sniffed something was coming out because Troy Dannon invited me to go sit at his table. He was the keynote, and he did a fabulous job, by the way, of talking about Husker athletics and where college athletics are going. But he reached out to me a week ago and said, hey, I'd like to have you join me for lunch. That piqued my curiosity, but very, very nice honor to be given that today, and they made me get up and say a few words, so I'm sure I fumbled all over that, but I want to thank those folks. And again, love all those great broadcasters around the state that carry Sports Nightly or carry any of our broadcasts. We love you guys out there and how much you do for us here at the network. So it was a lot of fun. Saw a lot of familiar faces out there at the luncheon earlier today. Troy does a good job, Jess. He's really down to earth, just very, down to earth. That's probably the best way to put it. He doesn't try to BS you. He tells you what he thinks and isn't evasive with questions, because he took questions from the audience, but don't know him a lot, but we're getting to know him more and more, and I really, really like him. Yeah, I've been a big fan of his, getting to know him the times I've gotten to sit down with him. I know, going back, I know you're not one that don't like the spotlight on you, but very deserving, so congratulations. I knew it was coming. A couple people had told me so, but you absolutely deserve it, so kudos to you, and I won't spend any more time because I know that you don't like that kind of stuff. But anyways, I did want to ask you, though, what were some of your big takeaways? Because we were chatting about it before we went on the air, but some of the notables that Troy Dannon discussed today with the audience. Well, he threw out some numbers that just kind of dropped your jaw about how next year, because of the court cases that have come against NCAA schools, that now you have to compensate all the athletes. He's talking about $23 million is what they're going to have to pull from the budget to pay the athletes. So he's like, not that we're against that, that's fine, but he goes, man, we got to find that money from somewhere, and it's got to come from somewhere. He goes, obviously our TV partners are going to help because we've got a nice new deal with Fox and NBC and CBS with the new rights deal that came out a year ago, but that's a big number. And, Nebraska has a lot of sports, but we don't have the most. There's schools that have a lot more than we do. I think we have 23 varsity sports. There's some that have a lot more than that. So that caught my eye when he talked about that a little bit. He talked about that he went out and visited the soccer team today. Very proud of the coaches, and said he knew from afar that we had good coaches here, but he said he didn't realize the caliber of coaches until he got on campus. And he goes, and I'm not just talking about Fred and Amy and Matt. He goes, it goes on down the line, and he really bragged up Justin St. Clair. He goes, folks, he is one of the top 2 or 3 track and field coaches in America. And he goes, my colleagues all around the country go, I can't believe you've got him. And I know you've won back-to-back Big Ten men's championships. You're just going to keep hanging those banners down through the row with him. And, and you think about it, Mark Manning's a highly esteemed coach. Rhonda Revelle, Will Bolt's won a couple of conference titles already. We are pretty spoiled and riches of having good coaching staffs here in Nebraska. Yeah, and shout out to Coach Pepin, who brought in Justin St. Clair, recognize the kind of talent that is, and probably knew, right? I mean, you know Coach Pepin better than I do, but he probably realized that, hey, I'm getting maybe towards the end of my career. Who do I want to pass this along to? Because he has certainly established this place to be the kind of program that it is. And the coaches that come in are very quick to point out that, hey, he's still around. He is just a legend and what he has done and built here. And so got to think that when he identified St. Clair to bring in as a part of his staff, that probably was going to be the guy that he wanted to hand the baton to, no pun intended.
Well, I think you did the Hall of Fame ceremony last year when Pep got inducted. And the number of conference championships, it's like 80-something. And, of course, that includes indoor and outdoor. All the 300-some All-Americans that competed under Gary Pepin. I mean, it's stupid, some of the numbers that Gary Pepin put up in the many years that he ran the program here at Nebraska. And you're right, Justin's very comfortable in his own skin. That's why he's very comfortable having Coach Pep still around, and they talk on a regular basis. And I know Justin, I think, is in Paris still, because we still have some athletes competing over there at the track and field matches. But and I should throw John Walker's name in there as well as one of the great coaches. He's the only soccer coach Nebraska's ever had. He started the program back in the late 90s, and Camden mentioned this in the ticker earlier. We're ranked preseason number 6. I mean, that is just phenomenal. So good stuff all around. All right, I need to take our final break. When I come back, I'm going to show you how the SEC is following the lead of the Big Ten. How? I'll tell you about that next.
On game day, every play counts. Now imagine having the same level of control in your field. Valley is where farming meets end zone efficiency. With AgSense remote irrigation technology, farmers become the MVPs of their fields. Real-time, play-by-play control means you're always ahead of the game. Score big with simplified irrigation technology from Valley, improving your life both on and off the field. Find your local Valley dealer at valleyirrigation.com.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting major Macy Byers with Campus News. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is building the first federal research center for climate-smart precision ag at UNL's Innovation Campus. News of the $160 million USDA facility comes as Nebraska prepares to build the new N-Farms platform near Meade, which will be among the largest precision ag research sites for universities across the nation.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance. Plus, 96% of Outback vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Longevity based on Experian automotive vehicles in operations versus total new registrations for model years 2023 to 2022 as of December 2022.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Woodhouse Auto Family, your trusted auto partner. They've got 20 brands, 20 convenience sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. I mentioned going into break, the SEC is going to follow the Big Ten's lead this year. They're going to have an injury report for football, like the Big Ten did last year. And Jess, think about how many times we referenced that, maybe in counting the kickoff and then went back to it when you did your first hit on the sidelines. That has to come out 2 hours before kickoff. Who's definitely out, who's probable, those type of things. We use that every week, and I'm a little surprised that other leagues are slow to warm to it, but it sounds like the SEC is going to add to it as well. Is it a gambling mechanism? Yeah. Let's not kid ourselves. People want to know some of that information, but it's also helpful, I think, to us covering the games to kind of keep an eye on certain things when we go out to look who's in or who's out for that game.
Yeah, I I was a big fan of it, because then you follow along some of the questionables, and then you go down there and check on those guys once you get down on the sideline. Because there were times that, remember it was, where was it with Luke Reimer? He went through warm-ups, but then he comes back. Once the team goes in, he comes back out. Then he is in street clothes. So it still keeps you on your toes, but it absolutely gives you a chance to, hey, this guy's out, so let's see who is in his place and who are some of the starters that we need to be watching for, or who are the guys that might be, substituting in to be able to fill his role. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good addition.
I do too. They did it in basketball. The Big Ten did it in basketball as well, and that's not quite as pertinent because you pretty well know if a guy's in or out. I mean, everybody, you cover these teams so closely, if somebody rolled an ankle and is out. Usually the coaches, particularly Fred Hoiberg and Amy Williams, pretty open about, they're out for a few weeks or day to day, and so. But it's helpful in that sport as well. It's just a bigger number of bodies in football, and a lot of teams would play around with it and kind of fib about it or not put out a depth chart. Matt Rule, I love this about him. He's like, I'm going to put a depth chart out every week. I mean, come on. There's no secrets. Everybody's watching our game tape. They know who's playing well. They can see if a kid gets injured in the week before. He goes, they got all that information, so why I don't need to be concealing that. So it's one of the things I really appreciate about Coach. But the SEC, following the Big Ten, they're going to start doing an availability report, injury report before every game. Well, tomorrow night, Lauren Cook-West is going to stop by the program and talk about Husker volleyball. They've had 3 practice sessions, maybe more than that. I think volleyball, and maybe I'm wrong on this, Jess, but I think they're still allowed to do 2-a-days. I think in that sport you can still do that, where you can't do that in football anymore. Yes,
Lauren talked about that they're in 2-a-days, because I asked her the question you asked me to ask about how are you going to get enough touches for everybody, and she said this is a critical time, especially during these 2-a-days, because there's a lot of opportunities, and it's not just even about who is the best talent and maybe makes the most kills or whatnot, but who is a leader who can establish themselves that, hey, we need you to carry on our momentum. So it was just a great conversation with Lauren, so we're going to dive into a lot of different things with her for tomorrow night's show. And then hopefully you've been working on this. You teed me up here for basically a home run interview tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we're supposed to get the big guy, and Dominican Sue, we've been trying to track him down. He's going to the Husker Hall of Fame in early October. Supposed to. We got our fingers crossed that we're going to get him tomorrow, so look forward to that on the program tomorrow night. How about ESPN last week came out with their top 25 players this century in college football. He's number 1. Didn't win the Heisman, won everything else. He won the Outland and a bunch of the Nagurski, a bunch of those, but did not win the Heisman. Should have. But isn't that crazy? Of all the players that played college football since 2000, ESPN says he's number 1. I mean, I'm not going to argue that because he was so dominant. So I hope you get him. He's an enjoyable guy to talk to, and I hope you have fun with him.
I'm excited. Yeah. There's a lot of the former players here that maybe I'm not as familiar with, with my time at Oklahoma, but he is one I'm absolutely familiar with from back in the day. So I'm excited to get to chat with him, and should be a fun show tomorrow night.
Good stuff. All of this coming from the Akrs Broadcast Center, the premier John Deere dealer in the Midwest, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. Have yourself a great night. Thanks, Camden.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Tanya Blaine in Norfolk, Grant Wilbeck in Omaha, or Bud Morrell in Ocala.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Woodhouse has been your premier destination for your automotive needs since 1975. Whether you're looking to purchase a new vehicle, sell your current one, or looking to service, our team ensures a convenient and seamless transaction from start to finish. Explore our wide selection of top brands and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with our team's dedication and decades of trusted service. Get started online at woodhouse.com and experience the Woodhouse difference today.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get